All right, good morning. 9:15, 9:16. That's there. I just want to bring up the chat just in case somebody's not a lot of people in the room this morning, but that's okay.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Morning, Dean. How are you?
I'm good, man. How do you pronounce your name? Your first name?
Gilles.
Gilles.
Gilles. Yeah,
Okay.
it's French. It's hard to pronounce. I've heard every possible pronunciation, and it's completely okay.
Gilles, no problem.
Gilles, yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at for Monday, March 16th. I was busy doing other things this morning, so I did not look at the things to know before the open. I did look at the economic calendar, but I figured, you know what, I'm going to share what it is that what I look at here. So the economic calendar, I think I shared it last week as well. I use the investing.com. It is on the US. It asked me if I wanted to switch to Canada, and I said no, I'd leave it on the US here. And then I filter. Just up here, you have filters, and I make sure just to use Canada and the US. Sometimes I put the UK in there as well. I find it to be very informative. It lists the information and the time that it's planning on coming out. And what I gauge it with, first of all, I mainly look at the US. I'll look at the Canadian stuff just for information, just to see what's happening with our interest rates. But as far as the market is concerned, I'm concentrating on the US. And I look for 3 stars as far as importance is concerned. Right now, in 41 minutes, so at 10 a.m., we have these housing market index. It's only a 1 star, so I'm not expecting much from this. As far as before market open and after market close earnings, I do not see much. Earnings are pretty much done for this session. Let me just go over here and look at what I had for earnings. After market close, Lululemon is often really interesting. That's tomorrow. Other than that, just looking for during the week, I don't see much. I don't find that there's much going on. We are approaching the end of earnings season. We're going to get started again in April. So that being said, I am going to look at the Qs trade on Friday. That, again, I did not take because it happened right before or right at the 10 o'clock news. And I was talking to Avi about this over the weekend, that I have been taking less trades since I have been trading live with you guys. That's okay. But I will be making changes to that as well. All right, Apple. I am on a bit of a higher time frame. Just by looking at this, you can see there was consolidation, went down, but then there was a big move down. This was Thursday of last week. Tried to come back up, could not. Pre-market on Friday, it could not make new highs, so it just kept on going down. And at this point, is it just doing a retest? Possibly. I do not necessarily have an entry scheme for this at this level. If it shows a lot of weakness over here, there would be room to the left because we haven't been there since 12 p.m. and this was a very big move down. So if it did put in my continuation down signal here, I might look into it. So once the market opens on the 5-minute time frame, I'll analyze this. If it does make it down here, it could be a place for a bounce. However, I mean, this was very weak. When it reverses aftermarket or pre-market, this is aftermarket between 4 and 8 p.m. On Friday. When the reversal or the support happens there, excuse me, it doesn't happen with a lot of volume. with a lot of our participation. So if we were to come back down here and hit the CP or the central pivot range and show a lot of buying, this could be an area of support. So I will put an alert down here. And as far as the upper side, no alert. I will be watching it. I'll be watching for a kangaroo tail rejection, possibly. AMD, very similar. Went down, found possible support again after hours with less volume. Tried to make it up pre-market on Friday, but then could not find any buyers over here. We had an indecision candle in the first 30 minutes, and then that was rejected right from this level and went down. Found support again in post-market. Now it seems to be moving up. I don't trust it. Don't know what's going to happen once the market opens. I'm going to give it at least a minimum of the first 5 minutes. Being Monday, I'm probably going to wait the first 15, possibly even the first 30. I don't have to take trades. I want to be as sure as I can be of knowing who's in control. I want to know who's in control, the buyers or the sellers. So that's what I'm going to wait for this morning. I could put an alert down here to see if we come and retest this level with volume. So do we come and retest this area and buy from it, or do we just break down below it? And if so, then I would wait for the retest for the further move down. Amazon, very similar. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just moving down, finding support. Actually, it bounced. That's a very big bounce candle here on Friday, but then chopped around here. Very curious to see what happens over here at the highs here. If it did reject R4 over here, and I will move this alert down to, if it punches R4 and rejects, this could be a further move down. So that's what I'm looking at for Amazon. And if it were to come down to the lows here at S3 and find buyers, I might be interested in a long. So I will put an alert there as well. Google's been very, very choppy. Down, up, down, finding support here, a bit of a double bottom over here on Friday, and then gapping up a tiny bit, but then closing that gap this morning in pre-market. If it did come up here and reject, yes, there would be a lot of room to the left to, not a lot, not considerable room to the left, because it was just there on Friday, but possibly enough to take a trade. Meta. It is a 30-minute chart, just looked a little bit different. Meta was very low volume the last few days. Came down here, found support here, and then gapped up. If it were to reject the tops over here, there would be considerable room to the left because we were not even there on Friday. This area, this purple area that I've drawn in, was a significant level on the higher time frame here. So I want to see what happens here. What do we do? Do we buy from here for the further move up, or do we reject? So that'll be interesting to watch. I'll take these levels off because they're not really pertinent right now. Microsoft was going sideways for quite a while, then broke down on Friday, found support after market closed. It could be rejecting these levels here again. Again, being Monday morning, we don't know what the market is going to give us. So I'm going to see what happens at these levels. I might, I'm not going to put an alert right now. If it rejected, put in a rejection candle over here, it could be a breakdown, retesting this level for the further move down, especially that it's in a selling range at R3 here. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the first little while. Nvidia, Nvidia is another one that has been going on the higher time frame, going sideways and just very erratic, which is great for different strategies. For my strategy at this moment here, I want to see if it rejects this level here for a rejection at the tops. But we wicked up here on Friday, so before the big move down. So if we retake this, it's almost feels like the buyers are in control. So I'd like to see, do we make it all the way up here for the rejection again? Right now it seems strong. Right, it gapped up, seems strong. I'm going to wait to see what happens at this level over here. 9:26. We still have a few minutes. Tesla's another one that's been going pretty sideways. With a big move up and then a strong rejection. This was a big rejection area. I wanted to see at the open on Thursday if it came back up here and rejected again, but it just couldn't find buyers. So we're going down and down. Now we're gapping up. I don't know what to do with this at this point. I think it would have to take out the 400 area. I want to see what it does over here. I want to see what it does at the high, previous day high. If we continue buying, it might be if it breaks out, it would have to break out with a lot of buying. It might be a good area to buy the pullback for the break and retest higher, especially the fact that it's getting close to R6. Anything above R4 here, if we open above R4 and touch R4 and start buying, a lot of shorts are going to be taken out here. So there could be a lot of buying happening, but I need to see what happens once the market opens. Qs, I've got my trade, or at least the trade that I did not take, but I described at the open on Friday. I'll talk about that once the markets are open. At this point, we're pretty strong, gapped up, strong over here. If it rejected this area over here, especially in the pre-market, especially in the first half hour, if it moves up and then rejects this area, it might be another short. However, we are above R4. And when we open above R4, especially in the lower range, there could be a lot of buyers sitting over here to squeeze out these participants over here. But I would expect there to be resistance right around here, right where we wicked. So I'll have this level. I forgot to add these levels on the trading view charts, but I do have them on my DOS, which will be a previous day high. Similar price action in SPY. I want to see what it does at previous day high over here. And I also want to know if this retains support at 660. So there's a lot of things that I'm looking at. I'm not in a hurry. 1 minute until the open for those of you that trade the open. I absolutely not in a hurry, especially the fact that it's Monday morning. I want to see what the market gives us in the first little while, and then I'll see if anything pans out for my strategies. So good luck to anybody who's trading the opening range or the first few minutes. I will describe the kangaroo tail short that I did not take on Friday, but hopefully some of you did. Now, if anybody has any questions or comments or anything you want me to look at, I am going to start looking at futures a lot more, and I'm going to be changing the layout of my screen as well as what I'll be sharing because I am getting back into futures sooner than later. There you go. Market is open. No quick move, very hesitant. I think everybody's got their finger on the trigger and waiting because it is Monday morning. Who knows what the market wants to do? Rejection candle, excuse me, kangaroo tail candle in the first 30 seconds shaping up on Google. Just to share what it is that I look for in candles. Nvidia is similar. I just touched over here. When these candles appear a little bit further on in the session, I love taking these trades. But in the first 5 minutes, for me, it's not worth it. Similar price action, but on the reverse side on Apple. If it were to close near the 252 here, this could be a potential long. So we'll see what happens once that candle prints. Market seems strong right now. Q's and SPY. Just from price action and the way this candle is forming, it looks like we could be breaking out of pre-market high on Q's.
Good morning, Gilles.
Good morning. Is that Evil?
Yes.
Hey, starting to recognize voices. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks. Just going through my tickers and marking some levels. How about you?
Good. Just went through these 10 here. I'm just Monday morning. I'm not looking at doing too much in the first while. Very tempted. I mean, in past trading, if this broke out on Apple, I absolutely would take a long here. This is showing but I mean, it's hard to figure out where to put a stop.
Yeah.
Right. So
a big wick.
As far as scalpers are concerned, especially if you look at the our vol is only at 49. If you look at the book, it doesn't seem to have a lot of orders. But this is definitely shaping up to possibly be a long. But again, I won't take it, especially not in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, same. I'm just kind of watching a few tickers. Tesla seems to be popping up.
Yeah.
MNR is also popping up. And ONDS also had a pop-up, kind of selling off a bit. RN is looking to maybe challenge his pre-market high. So yeah, we'll see where these things go. Palantir also had a pop, but it's kind of come back down a little bit.
So yeah, ONR, do you mind repeating? I should have written them down. ONR.
If you want, I'll share my screen. You can hit all these tickers here.
Yeah.
What about? Oh wait a second. I gotta share my whole screen. I think this one. Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla. I look at the leveraged ETF, TSLL. That's Palantir leverage, PTIR. Here's ONDS. And then BM. So boy, Mary, Nancy, Robert. And then REN, REN.
I thought you were saying Iran, as in the country is going on. What's going on with that?
And then I'm also looking at this thing, SOC. I've never, heard that before. It's kind of a oil sympathy play.
Yeah, I seem to remember the ticker from a couple years ago. I think it was it seems to ring a bell that it was in play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just checking out a few things here.
That's all. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first 5 minutes are interesting. This is the 400 level on Tesla is very interesting. First 5 minutes, so we were strong over here. I would love to see this chop around in this area and then possibly put in a rejection candle just above 400 for the move down back to 397 possibility. That's what I'm looking at. We are breaking out of a pre-market high on Qs, but not with a lot of momentum. It has 78% RVOL, so you would think that we would pop out. So I wouldn't consider this really as a breakout for a breakout and retest. in my trade book, the breakout needs to show that it's an actual breakout like this on AMD. Right, that absolutely put in a really strong candle, broke out, went up $2 from the breakout. Now, eventually, over time, I'd like to see it stair step down to 196 and then boom, see some more buying there. So that would be my strategy on the break and retest of AMD. This wick here shows a lot of buying at 250, which is a very interesting number. Long tail, for me, there's no trade because the wick is too long. So I'll wait. Maybe it'll break out from here and then retest. Meta is at an interesting level here. If it broke out above, pre-market high here, but even if it didn't, it's a hard trade to gauge because this showed a lot of buying. It showed a lot of support. But then now we're showing possible resistance up here. Other than that, the market seems to be moving slowly. Meta, again, another huge 250% R-vol. So there must have been a ton of volume traded right at the open here. So what is that? Is that people dumping, taking profit up here? Or is it people loading up for the long? Don't know yet. I don't know who's in control. And I want to know. And if I don't take a trade. Did this $399.99 on Tesla. We might just be capturing some shorts. Again, difficult to tell who's in charge. 88% R-vol is good for me. Q's wicking up above 601 here and having difficulty staying up there. SPY same, but did not make it above pre-market high. Pre-market high was 669.05, 669.08. So maybe we did make it a few pennies above. Since I'm not planning on taking anything right away, I figured I would take a few minutes and share my analysis on the Qs on Friday. So this is what I was looking at on Friday on a 5-minute time frame. So this is my kangaroo tail. Put in a few. There you go. Yeah. So this was the level I was looking at on Friday. If you look to the left, we had not been there since the rejection of this level the previous day. So this was Thursday, tried to make it up, it wicked up here. And then again on Friday, wicks up here on a 5-minute time frame. That is the candle that I love to trade. It is the kangaroo tail candle. The body of the candle is within the range of the previous candle. It wicks up and the wick is at least 2/3 of the entire range of the candle. It closes at or very near the bottom. So when that happens on the break of that candle, or on the 1-minute time frame, you zoom in and you see the fair value gap is forming, then that's the entry with a conservative stop just above the wick of the candle. Now, I did not take this trade here at 9:45. The only reason being was that there was news, potential market moving news at 10 a.m. In retrospect, for 1 hour, it would have been worth it, or possibly would have been worth it, depending on the news. It wasn't CPI. Don't remember exactly what it was, but anyway, I drew it in here and wanted to see what would happen, and it got to 3R very, very quickly, or somewhat quickly. Where was it? 10:40. So about an hour before it broke the 3R. But then I would have taken full 3R over here on equities. On options, this move right here would have been enough, and I would have had to take profit there, because even though we did not retrace to the entry over here, because it is 35 minutes, sorry, I can't count in English, 35 minutes later, we came back, wicked back up here. This would have taken out the entry of the options contracts just because of time decay. But this would have been enough for more than 3R on the options contracts. But on the equities, if somebody got in short here, they could have held on, because there's no signal here to get back to take profit. There's no signal. They're 5-minute candles, again, forming fair value gap. Now we've got a stronger candle here and a 5-minute fair value gap. If you were short from here, probably a good place to get out of the trade. So this was a good analysis, shorting the highs over here. This ended up just being a pullback, right? So this is the breakdown of this level. So this candle right here is a breakdown. So the breakdown and retest also would have worked. So there you go. There's the breakdown. There's the retest. If you're just drawing fibs from here to here, this is a 50% retracement and it's rejecting the 50% retracement for the further move down. So this could have been another entry there. So that's what I was looking at on Friday. As of today, I'm going to wait for the first 15 minutes and then look to see if there's anything potentially shaping up. Right now, just like many days in the recent past, we just seem to be chopping sideways. And again, these are the only ones I'm looking at. If I were to look at PLTR, can I change here? Microsoft. PLTR, wicked up, came back down. I did not write down what Evo had said earlier. I should have.
You want those tickers again?
Yeah, give me a second. And that's something I'm going to be adding to my to the sheet that I share in the morning, is what's in play. I don't necessarily trade what's in play. But for people that are logging in, they might want to know what are the things that are in play. Like I can tell just here that MU is in play. CoreWeave, ARM. So chips, chip makers, if they're in play, is Nvidia and AMD going to be sympathizing? AMD's doing that retest that I said I might look at. So I am going to zoom in on the 1-minute time frame on TradingView here to see if there's a possible entry on AMD. Go ahead and share those, please.
Yeah, so the tickers that I was looking at are...
I remember IREN. IREN.
Yeah, IREN. Also, B as in boy, M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, R as in Robert.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. It's at the previous date high right now. And then I'm also looking at Palantir, Tesla, and ONDS. I think there's potential room to the left on that one.
October, November, Delta.
Yeah, October, November, Delta,
Sierra. Okay.
And
yeah,
those are the main ones. This one was I was just checking this one out, but I was also looking at SOC, which is a
oh yeah, I remember that that ticker.
Yeah, stable offshore.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at so far.
Thanks for sharing. So AMD on the 30-minute time frame was moving up over here, went up above R4, and is putting in what looks to be on the 30-minute time frame a reverse hammer. However, if we go to the 5-minute, it broke out of this level. Now it's retesting over here. So this is where I want to zoom in, possibly to the 1-minute. It's putting in a strong 1-minute candle here. So entry would be right now for the break and retest with a stop under the low of this candle over here. So and there, where do we need to go to get the 3R? So we need to get above this resistance from a few days ago. So that's on a 1-minute time frame, and that's an aggressive stop. I mean, the less aggressive stop would be down here, but then you're looking at R6 or above R6, right? So I'm going to leave this on just because I was sharing the AMD possibility. We'll leave it there. And AMD's got 102% RVol, which is a good signal for the continuation, possible continuation. Let's look at Iran again. Yeah, just chopping in this level here. ONDS. Yeah, that was a nice breakout. Resistance at previous day high at $11 share. Price action almost looks like we're waiting on news, but as far as I know, there's nothing. $95.62. Buying cues are right. If you had taken this breakout and retest on cues, especially at the whole number of 600 here, for some people that might be something that they would have taken. Be curious to see what it looks like on NQ.
I'll tell you this one, I'm long this one, Gilles.
On NQ?
Yeah, I'm long 24706.
NQ or MNQ?
MNQ.
MNQ? I know they're not exactly at the same level. So MNQ, 5-minute time frame. I'm going to get rid of the drawings I had on there. And good morning, Carrick, by the way.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry I came in late, guys. Good morning, everyone. But it failed here again.
MNQ, let's zoom out here. So this was resistance over here, which is R6. So be careful, anybody who's in a long here. R6 24,800 could be an area of resistance. I like how it looks on the 5-minute time frame. The breakout wasn't for my liking. I don't like this pullback on the first 5-minute, and then I don't see a strong 5-minute candle afterwards. But if we zoom in on the 1-minute time frame, this is a very good bullish breakout candle here. Yeah, be curious to see what happens now, especially at this level right here.
Yeah, I think my stop loss would be 24,670. This is the level you're talking about, right?
24,670. For me, a stop out would be, let me put a level here. It would have to be below where we found support here.
Yeah.
So for me, if I were long, getting into long, let's say over here on the break of 64,685, right? If I took this as the breakout and this as a retest, the long would be there. Here, let me put the long tool. Whoops, that's yeah, that's the long tool, right? Over here, stop would have to be below the level.
Okay.
You got to be, for me, I mean, you
Yeah.
have to give it room. And then 3R would be just below R6, which would absolutely be doable, right?
Yeah.
For me, I'm looking for a minimum of 3R. If depending on how tight your stop loss is, I mean, some people would bring it to the bottom of the big bullish wick over here, and if that's the stop right here, then right, that's a 6, almost a 7R trade up here. So 3R is you know, pretty much hit on this right here. Right.
Yeah.
I find these entries incredibly difficult, but they're doable, right? And if that's the case, if you're getting there so quickly, then I would take 80% off, bring the stop back down to break even, and then aim for the moon, right? For the last 20%. So that's I plan on switching over to not completely, but I will be trading futures in the very near future. I used to. I got out of it to concentrate on options, and now we'll be going back into futures. I'm going to do something I've never done. I think I shared it last Friday, but I will open up a prop firm account. And I have opened a prop firm account with Top Step, and I'm going to document my journey on here in the mornings. So for anybody who's interested, I'm going to be sharing the same strategies that I trade, but I'll be doing it with a prop firm and my own account on TradingView as well.
That's great. That sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've been trading, like I used to trade, like I said, I haven't traded futures in probably close to a year now. But any suggestions, comments, it helps everyone, right? So even though I'm on the mic here, I don't know everything. So if you see anything or anything anybody wants to share, please don't hesitate. It helps everyone. So the AMD break and retest seems to be stalling, but that's okay. It doesn't have to happen right away. I'm going to, the stop on my original stop is what I would have taken below the wick here. So the stop on AMD is 195.25. So 195.25. I'm going to set an alert below 195. 29, let's say. So if I hear the alert over here, it means I would have been stopped out, and the take profit at 3R was 199.50. So above 199, I probably wouldn't have. I would have put it just below 199.50 because that's a psychological number. So we'll hear what if this would have worked.
I was also checking out INTC, and if I may, I'll show you what I was looking at. Let's see if I can do this. So on the hourly chart,
it takes a minute. Do you mind waiting one sec? Because right now it's incredibly blurry. I don't know if that's on my side or if anybody else is seeing that. Yeah, I can't see. You must have a massively wide screen.
Yeah, it's a super wide screen that I got here.
Nice.
Oh, sorry. But yeah,
there we go. On my side, it just went clear. So I don't know if that's a connection issue, but now I can see.
The pre-market from today, we're flying above the SMA 50 and 200, so could be potential long opportunity. Then we had this sort of pop right before before the open. It popped up. I threw some fibs on it, but and what I want to see is I want to see that pop and curl, and I want to see if the price level holds. Ideally, 61.8%. But I didn't like the volume profile on this. You know, we had this sort of spinning top around VWAP, this purple line.
Yeah.
And then the last 5-minute candle that just closed, we had an increase in volume. So that for my trading plan, I'm not going to get in long. Ideally, I would have liked to have seen maybe a big candle, but a decrease in volume, which tells me the sellers are extinguished.
Yeah.
That
pop in volume there on that big candle that you're showing, that is possibly a lot of pre-market buyers just getting out of their position.
could be.
Right? Because that would, you had two very big, that was pretty big moves there. It went from 47.40 up to 49.20. It might be people just panicking, saying, "Oh, this is not holding." But just from the breakout and retest perspective, it looks great. It looks like a possible long right where it is right now. Now I would need to analyze and go further back here. I want to see what the 30-minute looks like. Yeah, the 30-minute, that looks ugly, right? We broke out. Yeah, Alt H. Whoops, wrong platform. There you go. So we had resistance over here, and it did show resistance here. Right. So if this were to make it below whatever level this is, 47.68 area, it might be moving back down. But as far as the image is concerned, right, this is a breakout. It is retesting. I do not like this big red candle here. So I'd have to see what happens at 48 or above 48. So I think your analysis is great as far as, stay away.
Yeah. That if the volume profile was different, I'd be interested. This level around 47.80 represents the pre-market high from March 11th. So back on March 11th, that was forming as resistance. So this is kind of a key level, at least in recent history. Maybe we can get back up to 40, maybe around $49 plus. But yeah, like I said, it's.
Sorry, I was just saying MU. I did not put on my screen, but MU was definitely in play. MU, right? Similar market. Right? Am I getting my tickers? I can't move this.
Looks like Tesla's got some volume breaking out of its range right now.
Yeah, at 400 level. Yeah, so the semiconductors, TSM, MU, INTC, AMD pre-market, we're all seem to be in play. So yeah, the Tesla breakout of the area, retested from swing low to swing high. This is probably close to a 50% retracement. But on the 5-minute time frame, I didn't really see anything to be able to go long on this. There's no, on the 5-minute, there's no really bullish candle here.
Hey, Gilles, if you look at INTC, we've got maybe the workings of inverted hammer formation, but a higher low on the 5-minute chart, right around that key level, 47.80.
And you would like that as an entry, right? For long?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. Even though the volume profile isn't ideal, this candle is going to close in the next 20 seconds.
INTC.
I'm hesitant to get in. My rules would say the volume anomaly needs to be there, and it's not there. So I'm not going to take it, but it's forming a higher low. I'm sorry, what was that you said?
Were you looking at the 5-minute?
Yeah, the 5-minute chart's my main watch tool. And
it did not form the type of candle you're describing, right? So
yeah,
You have to wait for the candle to print, even though during the printing of the candle, it might have put in that inverse hammer that you like. It ended up not being an inverse candle. So it was pretty bullish. But then we just broke the high of that candle and rejected. So as far as my trading is concerned, it's not ready yet. What does a 2 minute look like? 1 minute. See, this 1 minute candle right here is very bullish, but it did not break the high. The following candle, zoom in a little bit. There you go. So this is very bullish. This one is not, right? Just popped up and rejected. So it's in this micro little zone here. And like you said, it is at that 48 level. So we'll wait and see. The AMD long on the break and retest here is slowly chugging along. R4 could be a resistance area. So we'll keep looking at it. It is 10 a.m. So usually it's what I like to wait for. INTC. If we go above 48.05, I'd like to be alerted. So above 48.06 here. Interesting.
Yeah, the current 5 minute candle, actually the low is 48.05. It was kind of testing that 47.80 area. I'm seeing the candle body move up. It's currently in place. So right now I'm still seeing some buyers that are trying to push it up, but
the level 2 itself seems very balanced, or even maybe a little bit bearish. Right, as far as larger orders are concerned, I see the larger orders on the bid. 47.80, 21,000 shares here, 40,000 shares at 47.68. Again, this could be spoofing. We don't know if those are real orders, but it is something that it's part of the puzzle, part of what I look at.
So we'll see if the below the previous 5 minute candle is 47.81. So it's got to hold that. If it doesn't hold that, then maybe the next level would be the SMA 50 and the 5 minute, which would be about almost 47.50. But yeah, it's not my exact pattern. It doesn't have my anomaly for my Q signal. So no bueno. I'm just watching. Maybe things will take another, 30, 60 minutes to kind of shake out and give me a pattern that I can work with.
Yeah, maybe. That's
Because my goal is if I can just sit in my hands and just wait for my pattern. I've got my checklist here and I start checking off boxes, and then
that's fantastic. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, no more cowboy trades, man.
What I found and what we talked about last week is just talking about it. Just you not waiting for input from anyone, just even talking it out. Yes, you talk yourself out of a lot of trades. I know that I've been doing that myself since I've been going live in the room, and I've missed some trades. But when you talk yourself either in or out of anything, it just solidifies. See, it is breaking the low here of your 47.81. Right, so it didn't print out the pattern that you like. So I find that incredible improvements in my trading when I was just talking to myself. And like I was saying, Avi, I do this every morning, no matter what, whether I do it in his room, which I enjoy. I love the feedback with you guys, but just being able to talk and talk yourself in and out of things and just express what it is that you're seeing. It's very helpful.
Thank you for sharing them with us, Gilles. We really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for saying thank you, Tarek. I sometimes thank you for the thumbs up that I'm seeing there. I sometimes question myself because you guys know I was a teacher for 30 years. I had to talk, right? I was in front of high school students and university students for 75 minutes at a time. And oftentimes it was, just trying to get input from everybody else. But oftentimes it was just what I was seeing and what we were sharing and just trying to put things in all kinds of different perspectives. And that's what I do here. And whether I take a trade live with you guys or not is not my main goal. I like analyzing. I like teaching. I like sharing. I like hearing from you guys what you want me to look at. Thinking about prop firm futures for account building tool. Shane, thanks for saying that. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Just to continue on what I was saying about prop firms. I've traded futures before. I did it with my own account, mainly MES and MNQ. But then I was figuring, you know what, I've been looking at what Avi was doing, and I just figured, you know what, for many reasons, I want to try the prop firm because, first of all, it had a lot to do with Amal's presentation a couple weeks ago. It was a great presentation, and it's, while I'm getting myself back into it and back testing, why not do it with a prop firm? The cost is, I don't even know. I haven't started the, what is it called again? Hang on a second. I think I had it open here. No, that's not it. Combine. That's the name just came back to me. There you go. Oh, I'm not logged in. Hang on. I won't log in right now because I'm not sure what exactly they share yet. But this is the journey that I'm going to share with you guys. Just a top step account. There's a few steps. While I'm doing it, I'm going to be creating videos for my students and for whoever else is interested. And yeah, why not? While I'm getting myself back into it, why not do it with a Top Step account? It's very reasonably priced. And if I pass or fail, it doesn't matter to me, right? It's going to be a learning thing for myself and for whoever else is paying attention. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. This week it's March break in Canada. My daughters are home, so once 9:30 hits, I'm off and I'm no longer looking at the market. So if I don't take any trades, if I'm in a position, it'll be a range order, and that's it. I'm walking away because my girls are home and my wife is a teacher, so she's home too. So next week, starting probably next Monday, is where I plan on starting with that top step. Amal has a top step or futures prop firm. Sorry for stopping myself mid-sentence here, but he put something that we're going to have a webinar. He's going to have a webinar, yeah, this Thursday, the 19th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, where Amal will be sharing his journey with prop firms. So I will absolutely be paying attention to that. And if anybody's interested, I suggest that you guys hop into to that webinar. And then I shared something else this morning that I created a tool a while ago, and I just tweaked it. I'm going to take a screenshot of it right now, actually, and share it. Too many windows open. I can't find my snipping tool. There it is. Oh, it's already in there. I'm going to be sharing how to use this tool over here. the position sizing tool. This is the long side. I've got one for shorts. And basically, this is how to teach how to trade futures, right? Depending on the tool. Is it ES? Is it NQ? Is it CL? Is it silver? Is it platinum? Is it whatever? You just choose your product. It'll tell you what the dollar per point is, what the tick size, what the tick value. So in the webinar that I'm creating, that I put something out in the questions and answers tab just to see if there's interest. I'm going to be sharing got like 50 slides on not prop firms, but just basically what are futures, how you trade futures, why do we trade futures, because of their leverage, and then what are tick size, what is the tick value. You know, you look at something like oil, well, it's $10 for every penny that it moves. Well, what does that mean? So all that will be in the webinar that I've created. I need to know if there's interest in it. So we'll go from there. We'll see if there's interest, and in the next couple of weeks I'll be sharing that. Let's look at Tesla over here. Bring this up. Let's look at Tesla. 5 minute. There was a breakout above R4. It retested. As far as I like to see the retest, it didn't retest the level enough. But if you look at, and these fair value gaps are, I love having them on my screen because you can see that after the breakout, it tested down here, but then look at how it's just respecting this this low here with this wick, this wick, this wick, and now it's continuing. Didn't give me the signal that I like to see. Had this wick come down a little bit more, it could have been an entry, but then the following candle, I'd like to see it being bullish. And the next bullish candle was only over here. Well, if your entry is here, your conservative stop would be below the wick here for a possible move over a few days, right? Because what I teach is or what I share is not necessarily just for day trading. Excuse me. But look at the breakout, the retest, and then the continuation. So that's a nice, actually, just for the fun of it, let's see where the fibs are from the bottom of that candle to the top of this candle here. See, it didn't come down and retest the 50. That's the sweet zone right here, or as Amal and a lot of traders call it, the golden zone, right? Between 50 and 61.8 here. So that would have been very interested, picture perfect trade. I'm going to take this off because I did not take this.
That would have corresponded with VWAP pretty closely, at least by the third candle, the 50%.
Oh, it was it? Yeah.
You know, but what's kind of interesting on Tesla, if you look at the, let's see, 2, 3, the third candle printed red, was kind of a red hammer. It closed above the 30% fib level. Then you got a second inverted hammer, a green hammer following that, increased volume. But look at the second red candle. You got kind of a doji there, but you had lower volume. So I didn't notice that early on, but these are some of the volume anomalies I like to see. That would lead me to believe on that second red candle on the 5-minute chart, because of declining volume, would lead me to believe that, oh, maybe the sellers are extinguished. I could get in there, but my stop, I think, would have been the low of that first red hammer print.
Yeah, let's print it. All right, let's print it. So on the break of this, right there, stop below this. That's why these tools are so incredible. With it, we're back testing, but forward testing in real time.
Yeah.
So
And I would have gotten in right at the close of that doji candle. I wouldn't have gotten in at the break of the high, right at the close. That way I can kind of close up my gap between my entry and my stop, so I could kind of load more shares up, and my risk is a little bit reduced versus waiting for it to clear the high of that doji candle. I mean, that would have been me, but
yeah, right there. And then your 3 was almost hit here. I've got this horizontal line here for a reason, you know. So there's a reason why some of these I like leaving on there. It's just above R6 right now. Seems right. It took out the stops above here, and then is it reversing, or is it just retesting again? Because nothing goes in a straight line. But thanks for sharing your analysis about this volume right here. Right, we have an indecision candle right here, but very, very low volume on it.
yeah, for me, the volume, I call it my Q signal. I have my entry signal,
Yeah.
but my Q signal that means for me to pay attention. Something is up here that may further develop into some sort of a print or something where I can get in, but it's the volume anomalies, like wake up, stand up, pay attention. This may be an opportunity, but I need something else beyond the Q to get in. Oh, it's neat to share ideas with you, Joe.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, it's great that I appreciate you sharing your screen and just bouncing ideas off. And if people are learning from this, that's great. I mean, it's not signals of, oh, okay, go long INTC right now. That's not what we do. It's just trying to. There's so many moving parts, and it's deciding what moving parts you want to use in your trading. That's what's important. Right. So I share what moving parts or strategies or what it is I look at. I've really gotten away from moving averages and VWAP and volume, and I concentrate on candlestick patterns, strict rules, and I take way less trades than I used to. By the way, this is my kangaroo tail reversal on Tesla. I'll show again why I did not take it. It's above R6. I do not. That's just one small piece of the puzzle for me. I don't like sharing above R6. So this was the rejection candle at the top. It is rejecting at a level that I've put on there. But a ton of traders use these candle levels. Now, it's not exactly at that line, but look at that wick. Right? It came and touched it right there. So that's where this is the signal that I like to short. But I didn't take it just because it's above a possible area of support. So that's why I didn't take it. Declining volume. It almost seems like it's just going to be a pullback for the continuation. Possibly. And if so, then that trade that we were just discussing would have hit or could possibly hit the 3-hour target over here. 10 minutes left. Is there anything that looks good? That AMD break and retest was nice right here. Right? Did I put in a right over here? It's taking its sweet time. Right, let's move this right over here. Right, once the trade is in, you don't have to worry about time decay on these, right? Which is with options. That's why I'm getting out of options for day trading, swing trading, and investing. They're still in the arsenal. Some people might look at this as a double top on Meta. I do not, because for it to be a top, it needs to come from a lower area, and it didn't. It came from an area of chop. So yes, it's resistant. It's showing resistance over here, and then resistance again. I like that it took out, finally took out above, took out liquidity above. Meta up 3%. Where is it on the, yeah, just above R4. Just seems to be chopping still in a 30-minute time frame. So no signal there. When the market is slow like this, it's definitely more difficult for a trader like myself. Just for the fun of it, share the VIX, the volatility index. So when the VIX is getting lower, the market is less volatile. When the VIX is really high here, let's look at Monday the 9th was above 35. So on Monday the 9th, let's just look at SPY. On Monday the, was it March 9th? Monday, March 9th. Let's look at SPY on Monday, March 9th. Right over here. So when the VIX was high volatility, big move, right? So that was a really big move day on SPY, 662 to 680, right? That's a massive move. Again, another piece of the puzzle. Some people like using the VIX. Some people build their entire strategies using the VIX. I do not. Because at the end of the day, you could go blind looking at a million different tools. Now, could Tesla be putting in a double top? Well, let's look at it. Tesla, 5-minute time frame. It put in a top. For my rules, I don't like it that there's just one candle there. I like it to chop around or put in a little bit of a half moon, but it has come from a lower range. Has come from lower, put in a top, pull back, putting in another top. Now the second top, for a lot of people, they don't like it to, I know Avi's rules state that he doesn't like it when it makes a higher top. For me, in my trading, if it does make a higher top, it has to form a kangaroo tail for me to enter. And a kangaroo tail is something like the first top over here. So if there is a lot of rejection on this candle, how much time is left on the candle? 1:20. So if there was a lot of rejection and came and closed near the bottom over here, then that, for my trading, that would be an entry signal to go short for a possible retest of this area again. Did we hit the, no, the 3R target over here? On the fake trade earlier, fake trade or sim trade or whatever you want to call it. Seem to be going sideways on SPY as well. It's not at a level. That's the thing with Tesla as well. It needs to be at a level. According to my checklist, for a double top to be valid, it can't just be in the middle of nowhere. And it's absolutely at a level, right? I have this daily level here, but I'm not going to take it because it's not forming the candle that I want.
Yeah. That's good. That's good control. Don't get in if you don't see it.
Yeah, no, I did. I used to, you know, I was there, you know, FOMO. Oh, I'm going to miss this incredible short or long or, you know, and a lot of it came from Avi saying it every day. The market is full of opportunities.
It is.
You know, And if it's not today, it could be tomorrow.
Wait, yeah, definitely. It's good to wait, and
Yeah.
even longer time frames too can. Oh, here, let me show you. I'm looking at INTC. Sometimes when I, like I said, and I up my resolution. So let me know if this is any clearer. I changed it from auto to 720. So hopefully it's a little clearer for you.
No, it's still taking a few seconds. Suzanne was saying it. Earlier, and Suzanne, I just saw your question. Suzanne was saying, yeah, blurry earlier as well. It is blurry for me too. It seems to be getting a little bit better. It might be the Google Meet. Might be that you're on a Mac. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to put down your Mac. And
well,
and come back to your question about partials in a minute, if you're still
sure.
Yeah.
If I don't see a setup on the 5 minute, if it's not clear on mine, then maybe you can bring it up on yours. But I'm always looking.
No, it's clear now. Sorry, I should have confirmed. It takes like 10, 30 seconds, and now it's perfectly clear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So my primary chart's the 5 minute chart, and I'm looking for my pop and curl, my ABCD pattern. I'm looking at volume anomalies. We talked about this earlier. And on the 5 minute chart, it's not showing me my pattern. However, if I go to the 15-minute chart, which is to the right, it kind of is a little bit. We're getting declining volume here, declining volume. And now we're about 3 minutes away from putting in a potential green hammer or inverted hammer on the 15-minute chart. So sometimes if I don't see the pattern on the 5 minute, I'll just, go to a larger time frame. When I look at a larger time frame, I mean, we have a lower high information here from this point to the low of this candle, which would be, I think, 47.77. So it could be potential long opportunity for me looking at the 15-minute chart and maybe targeting high day 49.15 because I like the volume profile.
Yeah. But like you said, you got to wait for that 15-minute candle to close.
Yeah.
Right? You got to, here, let me bring it up on here, full screen, just right now. So if it does, I much prefer a hammer. I much prefer it closing near the tops and then a reverse hammer, right? Because a reverse hammer is that it went up and then closed, it left a wick at the top. But if it closes near the top and then makes a new high, that's incredibly bullish, especially if it's above the level here, which was pre-market high, so 48. So if this 15-minute were to come and close above 48, this could be an entry signal for the long. However, when you do look at the 5 minute, it's just like these tiny little candles here. Right, and
47.80 is a critical level from that.
Yeah, there's a big seller there. What does the book look like? 47.90 right now. We are seeing larger orders now on the ask.
I'm gonna consider this.
Let me just do a print screen here to slow it down. See, 41,000 shares, 12,000 shares, and then down here another 16,000 shares. On the sell side, 47.60, 21,000 shares. So right now the book is stacking a little bit more on the ask, which is, as some may say, more bearish, or sorry, bullish.
Yeah, I might get in.
Well, good luck if you do. Stop below the low of the previous 5 minute wick, I guess. 47.60 area, 47.50 area.
No, it's breaking. See, like the last minute's super critical, but right now,
yeah,
the low was 47.77. It broke it by a few pennies, and no bueno. This needs more time to percolate. So I had everything ready to go, and usually if my entry signal was there, I would get in right now, right at the close of the candle, but stay away.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I just wanted to address a couple of things in the chat there. Shane was saying that he tells himself that only trades if my alert is triggered when stocks pull back. ABC strategy, no alert, no trade. It's fantastic. That's so incredibly important to have rules, to have. There seems to be a pullback happening right now. I'm seeing it in a lot of different things here. It could just be a pullback for the next continuation, but I'm just seeing it in a bunch of candles, and it just seems like stuff just lit up. So that's the thing with trading in these volatile days right now. There could be a tweet, there could be anything comes out. That's why it's so incredibly important to follow your rules and to have stops. Risk management is the absolute most important part of trading. So thanks, Shane, for sharing that. And then Suzanne was asking me if I take partials. My rule is very simple for I trade different instruments. So when I'm trading equities, I'm usually looking for 3R. So -1 +3. If I get to the +3, if my entry is on the 1 minute candle, here, let's bring up TradingView here, because that's a really good question. And let's bring it up here. If I had taken this trade on Tesla, right? If I had gotten in right here long with my stop below the bottom of the wick here, it went up, but did not reach my 3R, I would not take it. But over here, it did reach my 3R. I would have been all out, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. It took 35 minutes or 30 minutes to get there. So +3R, fantastic. Lock it in, +3 instead of -1. That's more bigger winners than losers. That's fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. However, if let's say I enter right here, which I wouldn't, right? But if I just want to show an example, right? If my entry was right here, and within the first candle, I'm approaching 3R. At 3R, I take 80% off. I leave my stop back at break even, and I leave it for the next run. So I leave 20% to run, not necessarily to run all day, but I'll let it run until I see the reversal pattern that I would enter on, if that makes sense. Or I look at structure and I say, you know what, this looks like it's, it's way above R6, right around here. It's starting to reject, maybe take another 10% off there, or maybe take the last 20% off there. And then it turns out into being, you took 80% off here, then it turns out to be a 4 or 5R trade, right? That's the way that I do it. That's the way that it's worked for me in the past. It's been better for me that way. Let's just put this back to where it was. And hopefully that answers that question properly. Now, is this a pullback or is it a reversal? Well, as far as I'm concerned, right now, it just looks like it's pulling back unless there's news, right? This candle forming right here, and I've got to go, it's 10:33. This candle forming right here is very interesting. What will it do? If it starts going, if it breaks down below here and then retests it for the further move down, then it's a break of structure. It's definitely, or changing character. It's definitely not being support anymore. But I want to see, what does it do at this level? Both SPY and Qs are at that level right now. So are we rejecting, or are we just pulling back? And a lot of people were buying in here. So are we just, who's winning? Buyers or sellers? That's what we're going to see in the next little while, right? It seems like that's quite the pullback right now. So maybe the sellers are in control now. As far as SPY is concerned, the book definitely has more orders on the bid. What is that? I need to print screen to stop at 668.62. What do we do when we fill that order? Do we keep on going down, or do we find buyers here? So interesting levels. I do need to cut out. So I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if anybody else is jumping on the mic. The room remains open if anybody has anything they want to share. Thanks a lot for the questions and participation. It's been great. Have a great Monday, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Thanks, Gilles. Adios.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.